Hey guys, welcome to YakShaver Sprint 80 review. We got a bit done with the 2.0. Let's dive right into it. So the sprint goal for this sprint was to get someone outside the YakShaver team to test the new YakShaver app. Unfortunately, that was not done as there are a few things that were unforeseen and a few side quests that we had to take. The timesheet, so Baba, myself, and Zena were on it full time. Tom was on it for 3 days. For the PBIs, let's start with this one. So Baba, you worked on UX and UI updates for the portal. Do you want to showcase what you've done?
Yes. Let me share the screen.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I'm logging into a portal right now. So I worked on portal UX, especially on sidebar. Implemented new design provided by Michaela, and it was also checked by Adam already. And then I also worked on projects form to improve the layout, and also I moved delete functionality to project details, so it will be harder to find it from projects table. And I also added discard changes button to discard any changes on the form. Do you have any questions? Adam,
obviously, there's lots more to do, and there's lots more YakShavers, but it's a big improvement.
Yeah, you gave some additional feedback, and I also created a portal UI UX epic and added all the UI UX issues into there.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay, let's move on. I'll take back the screen share.
Okay.
Next up is a pretty important one for the user experience. So Zeno, you've added a control bar in the recording functionality. Do you want to show that off?
Yes. Can you open this issue?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's just some small updates to the UIs of the control bar. So for brandings, we have added the Yak element to the control bar, and as per our conversation with Adam, we have updated the stop icon to the right one. So that's what the currently looks like. And I also make a dump video for these features. So if you have any feedback, you can leave the comment under these PBIs. So that's all. Any feedback?
I think it looks awesome.
Thank you.
Very simple.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do we want to implement like a pause option to like pause halfway through and keep recording, or is that too much?
Every time it's been brought up, there's always bringing up pause. Yeah, obviously it'd be nice to have a pause thing, but as an MVP, we just decided start and
definitely.
stop.
It's a stretch goal.
Yeah,
all good.
basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, pause is the
You?
yes, that is you.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on. The next one is marketing newsletter. So Tom, do you want to touch up on what's been happening on that front?
Yeah, so I sent marketing team 2 tasks and to get basically the list or SDK for whatever marketing tool they're going to be using, handed over to me. I sent that on Friday. Louis replied to me today around while I was in the sprint review. So I can now basically move ahead, add the UI changes in the next sprint, I guess. And yeah, as previously discussed, we're gonna use Dynamics and add the users to a custom list with a custom YakShaver newsletter tag. So then we can identify them.
Okay. Is there a standard on this?
Are you asking a standard to use dynamics with a custom tag? Is that?
Yeah, like basically what I'd like Tom to do is just record a video. So get an inquiry on the page. I entered it in here. It goes in here. There it's in dynamics. And here, when they do the newsletter, they follow this, which means they get, you know, like, so you can see the flow of what. Okay. Yeah. And also just be aware that a bunch of people want to use HubSpot. So if this shows it as not doing what HubSpot does, that's very good for us to know. If it shows it being way too hard compared with HubSpot, that's useful. If it shows it's just as good and simple, that's good. Yeah.
Just note that down. Anything else? Cool. And move on to the last PBR I want to talk about, which is the big bug that Adam encountered, which is YakShaver failing to process a really long video and it not being obvious, not being shown to the user. So that was a bug that kind of slowly uncovered a lot of bugs with the current legacy code. So it's still, pending release. We've just did one final push after your test that we came down for. We got a bit of information from that and we're trying to make sure everything is fixed before we mark it as done.
Did you guys decide to update the model or just put in those checks and balances around like, please only do the top 10 spell checks or whatever it was?
Yeah, so at the moment we're just adding checks on top.
Yeah.
Obviously for updating the model and everything will be a bit, or maybe not the model, but like fixing what was the main cause of the issue, which is right now like token related. It's going to be a bit longer term fix.
Okay.
So for now, this is just a quick fix to make sure that, you know,
It doesn't break.
it doesn't break and at least that returns something to the user so it's obvious.
Correct. So one of the main problems was that because we put some of the core logic into background tasks through our refactor, and the background task is not evaded. So any exception that was previously thrown in there would have gone through our global exception handler. Because it's now not awaited, it just went poof,
Right.
and nothing was sent to the user.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we basically added some fixes around there so that at least the user gets notified.
I don't want to derail this. Just curious, for the background tasks, are you using Dan Mackay's awesome like domain event architecture in Clean Architecture, or are you using something like what's the one that we use in Time Pro? The background task.
Run.
No, whatever it is, the one with its own database. What are you using?
It's basically just spinning up a background task and not awaiting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other feedback questions on this one or in general before I move on?
All good.
All good? Cool. I'll move on. Yeah, so code coverage for this 27.7 remained the same. We did 3 production releases this week. Application health, so availability was at 100%. Requests and server response time remain relatively normal. No server errors for this week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
No errors, even though I had a lot of errors.
Those are not server errors.
What were they?
They were just like 400 errors being eaten up. Like they were not being.
User errors.
No, not user error.
Not user error.
I wish it was.
Callum, are you telling me that shouldn't be logged?
Well, I think the problem is if we did log it, it wouldn't have been a problem because we would have found there was an error and then showed it as failed. But we ignored it and we didn't log it, and that was the problem, right?
Yes. So shouldn't we, when we
Of course,
overcook the
yeah,
tokens,
should be.
we log an error as a
Should
server
be,
error?
yeah.
I guess because right now this is logging 500 errors. I can also add another box that logs 400 if you want.
If you want to make it a separate,
But should
separate
that
chart.
be a 400 error or should that be a 500 error? If YakShaver fails to process a YakShave because of an issue inside YakShaver, isn't that a 500 error, or it should be?
Yes.
It should be, yeah.
Yes.
It should be,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll look into it.
So yeah, YakShaver it after this. And but before I even fixed that bug, I would have said, where is the logs? You know, if Adam didn't tell me, how would I know about this?
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to think of.
sorry.
Hang fire is what I was trying to think of,
Okay.
but you're not using it, so it doesn't.
No,
matter.
I heard about it. But yeah, the problem was basically because the exception was swallowed. That's why nothing shows.
Let's move on. Baba, would you like to go through the monthly usage and the epics? YakShaver.
Yes. So monthly usage of YakShaver. On top we have Tiago, followed by John, Adam, Michaela, Geoffrey. And if you scroll down for the epics, and there is increase on YakShaver Agent 2.0 epic. And also there's a new epic for Portal UI and UX improvements.
Yeah, so well, that's one we're dragging up because we're finding it that the UI UX is, we're going to start prioritizing that.
Yeah,
Because-
we had several feedback from designers and Adam. So yeah, now it's collected in one place.
Well, I think we already had one. See the tenant setup? That's all to do with the portal. I think you can combine that in there. Maybe it's just tenant stuff and you want to keep it separate. I can see there's a lot of issues in there. The other one about portal reporting and YakShaver stats, I would probably just rename that to YakShaver stats. Yeah, because whether it's in teams of the portal, it's the same thing. Just rename that one to YakShaver stats in brackets Stephen, because he does all those ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, good.
Next up, backlog stats. So as of today, there's been 95 new PBIs. 75% of them are at the YakShaver label. 36 have been completed. Net change of plus 59.
Is that across all our backlogs?
That's just YakShaver.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, obviously, we want it to be going up, not going down. So you should be looking at who is the rogue person putting new items in the backlog without YakShaver.
Yeah,
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I have to look into it.
Well, when you saw the stats in the, before, I would have just looked it up because it's an obvious thing. It's not going in the right direction.
It might actually be me.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
Yeah, it might be me. When we're doing sprint review, we like to just make template ones so that we can fill it in later.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Zena, do you want to go through R&D and AI tools that the team uses? You're muted.
Sorry. For the R&D, Luis have explored some experimental features for the MCP host, and Tom has investigated some tools that integrate with AI, like SpecTake, OpenSpec, and BMAD. So if you are interested at this part, maybe Tom can give us more details. And for the AI tools, there's no changes for all the PBOs except Tom have tried some new AI tools. That's all.
So on those R&D things, Tom and I did some investigation on these particular tools. Is that a PBI? Like, is that a supporting activity that's linked to a core activity?
I need to double check our core activities.
Okay. And I guess same question to Lewis for
Yeah.
your MCP host.
I guess I'm not sure we have one core activity about YakShaver 2.0 stuff. So maybe that's something we should note down. Tom, write that down about the core activities for YakShaver 2.0, because I think right now it's all legacy.
It definitely is a core activity. I think we just need to add it
Yeah.
if it isn't already there.
Because, I mean, you guys are already doing it way better than most other teams. So it's good to see that we've actually got things like dedicated PBIs here. So it's just a matter of like, okay, are they linked to a core activity? And that would help a lot.
Okay, sure. Yeah, tenant stats from last week. So we have no increase in number of tenants and active tenants. No shaves were done by external tenants, but SSW has done 113 shaves this week. It's a lot of shaves.
So we've got 25 tenants. How many of those are external?
All of them.
Yeah, all external.
So we've got 25 tenants, but no one using it. Okay.
Now, are we putting any effort into that?
I haven't spoken with anyone about this.
I would suggest that's a job for marketing, Adam, to do follow-ups with these people and be like, hey, just getting some feedback, some market
Yeah,
research.
the team should
Yeah, I think
be doing that. That should
should
be
have been a
doing that.
question. Yeah. Maybe just note it down. I can talk to Louis tomorrow about this.
Do you know when the last time was that an external tenant used YakShaver?
Last week.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
he
right.
shaves last week. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep, very cool.
Okay, next up is the Copilot stats. So during the review, retro planning, Tom spoke the most,
Holy shit, he did. Look at
and then Callum and myself, and Zeno, and then Baba.
My Yaga bubble.
Does that look right to you guys? That distribution?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Yep.
yeah, it seemed right. I guess the part with Tom and me is that we were sharing the microphone, so that's why it looked a little bit skewed.
Yeah.
That's fine. The main action point. So what Copilot thought was the main action point was to focus on completing the build and release pipeline for the auto update feature, making the executable publicly accessible, updating the YakShaver AI MCP page with instructions and the done video, and ensuring the custom user prompt and API key entry are ready for canary testing. Guys agree that this is the next thing we're working on? Yes,
That's
yes, that's it.
AI got it fairly right.
that's pretty accurate
Yeah.
in terms
Okay.
of
All right.
how our planning looks like for next week.
Alan, would you like to go through our sprint retro?
I would love to, Lewis. First off, what went well? So Baba mentioned that he got his portal UI UX changes checked by Michaela and Adam, which is obviously
it's
good.
good.
Like Adam said, there's still more to do, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's good to see that moving along. And the other thing that went well, uncovering, this is what I said, uncovering more limitations with the existing YakShaver setup via that 23-minute bug that Adam reported. So obviously it's better that we locate those issues and sort them out with internal YakShaves rather than with the customer. So that is a positive. What didn't go so well this sprint? So obviously we failed to reach the sprint goal again, but hopefully the third time we'll be lucky in this coming sprint. Tom I said the legacy YakShaver code is causing various issues that weren't noticed before. So for example, moving the PBI, when you click the move PBI button, we actually store a bunch of metadata inside the team's card. And we use that instead of the database because we coded that move function before we added a database. So, there's obviously some issues there that need to be refactored if we want this to be more reliable. And Lewis also mentioned our AI model still stuck on GPT 4.0. So we requested access to GPT 5 a couple of months ago, but obviously Microsoft is a little bit slow to approve that. We have got some other ideas of what we can do. For example, use GPT 5 mini because it's still better than 4.0 in benchmarks and it's cheaper. So it seems like a no-brainer just to use that, and it doesn't require additional special approval. So I think we've got a PBI to do that, right? Yeah, that's
Just
on
on
the backlog.
that,
So,
Tom
yes.
did ask me, but I do need him to draft me an email to send to Microsoft.
Okay.
You can do that and basically give a little bit of context. Been doing this YakShaver project. RDs, you're welcome to have it for free or whatever you guys decide. And this is what we've been waiting for 2 months. This is our experience. We've submitted. They ignore us. I guess we could wait a bit more, or we just take a bite of the bullet and go to 5 mini.
I
Right.
think, as Callum said, updating to 5 minutes is probably a good choice anyhow.
Yeah.
And I can draft up the email and.
Yeah, but you could say, look, it's our plan B. It's because we're being ignored.
Just with not
Could we just
reaching the
skip-
sprint
Cut
goal.
Microsoft out? Like, why use the middleman? Just go straight to OpenAI.
No, because I can get things done by Microsoft. That's one.
Yeah, sure.
Also, I think we want to use the OpenAI, the Microsoft Azure OpenAI, the fact that they guarantee they're not training models on your data and all that sort of stuff as sort of a selling point to encourage people to use YakShaver. But I guess we could if we had to.
Yeah,
Because
and
obviously if
you
you use the OpenAI API, they don't guarantee that they're not using your data for training. So people may be more reluctant to use it.
yeah, it's a good point to raise as well, Tom. So that Microsoft know our thinking while we use it.
Luke, you have a point?
You could go directly to OpenAI.
I was just going to ask, because I missed the beginning, what was the sprint goal? Was it the same last sprint as it was this sprint?
And the same as the one before.
We pushed it further. The
I think it's 3 sprints in a row. I haven't seen it.
sprint goal was to get someone outside the team to use the YakShaver app.
Okay.
And give some feedback.
I think two sprints in a row is not it's no reason to panic. I'm just wondering, as a team, do you guys feel like that sprint goal is just a bit too ambitious? Like, should it be sort of broken down a bit further if it's kind of twice in a row that you haven't hit it?
Yeah, it was like from the outside, I was like, oh yeah, this is all doable. And then when you go in and then all of a sudden you can't do this because of this thing, and then something else pops up. I think we just kind of overestimated or underestimated how much extra unknowns appeared.
Okay.
And you're also totally correct. Some of the PBIs, they were kind of dependent on other PBIs, which should have been separated, like split down,
Okay.
which we done for this sprint. Like, for example, there was like build the page, upload the done video,
Right.
get the executable there, then different PBI ways, like create the pipeline. So technically you can't complete that PBI because it's now dependent on
Yeah.
a different one.
So, I mean, how do you guys feel about it for this sprint? Do you think you're confidence-wise, are you guys confident that all of those unknowns are sorted, or are you still kind of not terribly confident?
But that's why when we get to the planning, we change the sprint goal,
Okay. All right.
which
yeah.
made it more reasonable.
Okay. Yep. Cool. No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and what needs to improve? So Lewis said leave some points for legacy bug fixes and unknowns with the desktop app. So I guess that means, leaving more space in the sprint for bug fixes or unexpected stuff. So we probably overpromised last sprint, and we're going to try and rectify that in the coming sprint. And Adam's suggestion to do the sprint review with the same structure as the video recording, and I assume that carries over to the retro and planning as well. And that's it for the sprint retro.
Any comments or feedback?
It's good.
I do. How long was the actual sprint review today?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 33 minutes is still much quicker.
Yeah.
Cool.
Doesn't the sprint review start at 2 p.m.?
Yes.
So isn't that 3.5 hours?
No, because this is the
No, it finished at 4, and then we had to wait for the video to finish processing.
For an hour?
Yeah, for Copilot.
Okay.
Yeah, it
So
took a while.
everyone twiddled their thumbs for an hour before doing the summary.
They were totally productive. I'll have you.
Yeah,
know.
I feel like that's not a good use of our
we were
time.
YakShaving stuff. So
Oh, you were YakShaving? You were using it productively?
Well, not very, right?
So about issues like the GPT-5 stuff and all that, and then YakShaving issues for that.
Okay.
Cool. Continue on to the planning. Tom, would you like to go through the next sprint's planning?
Yeah, so the next sprint will be sprint 81, and we changed the sprint review to be more achievable, which is basically working build and release pipeline for the auto update and the YakShaver. So we want to make the
That is not what Copilot said. Copilot said that you're going to try to get it in the hands of somebody using Canary. The
No.
Canary spreadsheet, right?
The first point was to make the executable available, which
Right.
aligns with this sprint goal.
That just feels like some DevOps work, where the other one sounded like you getting it in the hands of a user. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah,
listening to Copilot.
that was the whole picture.
Right.
which is basically the whole planning.
Okay.
But the specific sprint goal is definitely to get the executable built and ready for people to download. Because if
Right.
we don't have the executable, people can't use it.
Okay.
Into the issues.
Yeah, so
It feels funny because you've had a few sprint goals in a row where you're trying to get a version out, and now this one, even though you should be closer, you've regressed. You've gone back a bit.
Well, they've refined. They're doing Scrum properly, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this sprint goal is way bigger than we thought. Rather than having 5 or 6 sprints with an unachievable sprint goal, let's be more realistic and break it into smaller goals.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Cal?
Yeah, that plus I think we have a smaller team because Stephen is on leave and stuff like that, right?
Right. Okay.
So I guess it makes sense.
Any questions on the issues that we're going to tackle?
Yes, I thought Bubba would get on to completing the other PBIs we gave him for the portal.
Well, that would not be a part of this sprint goal, right? The sprint goal
Yeah.
is about the binary being
Yes,
against the
but
other.
that's kind of what they're doing. Bubba's been working on the portal. He showed me the portal. It wasn't improved, but didn't get there. So I thought he'd stay on the portal until he finished it. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Are you going to do any work on the portal, Bubba?
Yes, but we for this sprint we didn't have capacity for including portal issues.
Right, and that secure access and storage issue, what is that about? Is that an accessibility issue?
So it's for YakShaver 2.0 desktop app using environment files in production release.
Right. And you
But
guys
that's
need
also
him
an
to do that?
estimate of one and the status in review. So I assume that's not
Yeah.
going to take the whole week, but
No.
then you're moving on to another one. Is that right?
Yeah,
Such
What
as?
I'll be moving to a other backlog ready PBI after completing my current PBI.
Yeah, such as?
Well,
YakShaver
Isn't that-
2.0 auto update feature.
Right.
that's also up to the team to decide.
Yeah,
So,
But-
whatever one someone hasn't
But
got to yet.
yeah, but these guys have been mostly working on, the MCP where Bubba hasn't. He's been working on the portal, and it strikes me that he should stay on the portal and these guys stay on that. Like, I know anyone can do anything, but it would obviously he's
Yeah,
Is in the middle.
I'm happy to work on portal. If I can, Callum, if you are happy, I can include the additional PBIs that Adam shaved, and I can start working on this one.
Does that mean we're taking something else out of the sprint?
well, if the ones, because they're already in review, if there's not much change there, then it's not really a one, right? It's just approving and then releasing it.
Yeah.
That is true. Is the reason why we we don't have, I mean, it looks like from just a glance, we don't have as much stuff in there, but is that because we were leaving more space for the unexpected bugs that we think are going to show up?
Yeah, it's more like when we're doing the order update, because that's going to involve us creating a public repo, at least and follow whatever requirements are required for the feature, and seeing if there's any roadblocks on the way or anything pops up that we weren't expecting. Like they said it's easily done in 2 to 3 lines, but what if it's not? That
Right.
kind of thing.
So I guess we're risking not achieving our reduced sprint goal if we bring something else in, because it means Bubba won't be helping with that. He'll be working on the portal. Is that right?
Best case scenario, the second item in that list, YakShaver 2.0 build and release pipeline. Like best case scenario, that's exactly what we need for the auto update. And worst case scenario, that pipeline needs to be changed and some additional work is required there.
Okay, anyway, you guys do that, but I think, you know, you've got 3 people working on the MCP, you've got 1 person working on the portal.
Well,
Yeah,
would you be
I think
happy?
obviously if we do finish all the stuff, like if Bubba gets the other stuff out of the way, or someone else is working on the auto update feature and Bubba doesn't have anything else to do, then the top priority for the next thing to do would be the portal updates.
Yeah,
That's what I would
yeah.
And hopefully that'll
Yeah.
happen.
And Bubba, what I would say is because you have less knowledge of the MCP stuff, if you were working on that stuff, you'd be working on it with Zeno together, who has more experience. So if the 2 of you are working on the same thing, that's probably a better way of working for you to start getting more knowledge about the MCP stuff. But yeah, I'd probably try to focus on all the stuff in the portal.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I still can't see the tenant information, you know, which I know is there for admins and stuff.
That's
Yeah,
the beginning.
for the
There is a PVI to
yes, I know.
get it online, and yeah, it's not being
Yes.
prioritized.
I saw it for the first time on, I think it was on your machine, wasn't it? Somewhere else's, yeah. Maybe it's Rick's machine.
Maybe Rick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Anything else?
Beautiful.
And this video will be on the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you. Bye.
Good work, Lewis.